Immortal Man. What's going on? And Yusuf. What's going on? What's happening, peoples? That's right. Busting out a little bit of hung for this. I'm going to put this into the R bar. I'm going to put this guy into the R bar. Hey, Florian. Snake cage he's building. Could that be? Could that be the most interesting statement anybody has ever uttered in chat in my streams? I think it might be. I think it is. Let's add the 7th for this one. And we might as well fill up another one, because why not? We've got 6 buffers. Okay. Donk. Okay, so we must needs first drive the playhead case. I think the wise thing would be to turn off auto generation of grains. Turn up the internal reverb. So we're going to just blow this thing out all to the just whoosh, you know what I mean. The thing that the R bar is really, really, really good at. But what we need is an occasional trigger to trigger a grain. Okay, let's see what we got so far. Probably nothing, because I turned off grains completely. Alright, now, let's also stick a sloth. How about the slowest sloth into the layer control? How about that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is, dude. Desoldering sucks. Okay, so then if we turn this off, maybe what to do is give it an occasional thing, an occasional note trigger from the SIG, because it's really good at randomness. And what you do then is you just turn up the, what is it, pause? Yeah, I can't read it because the LEDs are too goddamn bright. Yeah, so you just turn up the pause so that it rarely plays, and then we'll just throw a trigger into the strike input and turn grain length up to max. Yeah. Yeah, fully agree. And it's very, very equipment dependent too. Like, you could have all of the dexterity in the world, but if you have crappy equipment, it's going to be crap, you know? I always liked the copper braid, but that shit was so random. It's just like, oh, this piece doesn't work. This piece works great. It's like vacuum tools to get the bulk. Ugh, God. I was at a factory job for a few years, soldering and in many, many cases, you know, desoldering things and fixing stuff. And, like, yeah, that was my life for a long time. Okay, so here's my other question. I guess one question would be, is this in tune? Sounds like it. Good. Now, there is a way to set this guy to add octaves. Yeah. I think this is it. Yeah. But, like, my God, it's still just too damn quiet. It's still too quiet. It's always too quiet. And I'm sick of it. I'm up to here with the everything's too quiet. So we'll put it into the submixer, which I can add an extra 6 dB of gain. Gain is all the way up on the filter. I mean, it's just like, come on, people. And then we will slothitize the filter also quite a bit. Okay, cool. We'll let that guy do its thing. This doesn't sound pleasant. Sounds to me like there's some sort of data still left in there. You and your data. You and your motherfucking data. I will crush you. Okay, anyways. What was that? I don't know what happened there. I was looking at some... I got some field recordings from this South India pack, which is what we've got here. How come I just heard hung drum? That's not good. That means that some of it leaked and got in, even though the recording probability is down to 0. It's a D and an F. I guess we'll roll with it. That wasn't supposed to happen. So, yeah, okay. Let's just ignore that. Anyway, so there's like thunderstorm insect sounds and bird noises and all kinds of shit in that. I'm thinking maybe some kind of... sort these by sound. Ugh, that's not good. This says this is in D minor. No, it's not. It's not in a key. You lie. I don't think there's any vocals in here, though. That's sort of the thing that I would probably like to hear. Or some sitar would be kind of cool. And this one's nice and long. This might be kind of a cool backdrop. Let's do it to it. Okay, should be going. Right? Do you exist? You should be playing. Why are you not existent? Dude, what the hell? It's just not record? Just, no, well, you pushed the record button, but then I decided to just not record or something. There's nothing else plugged into this thing. Why you gotta be an asshole? Hmm? Great. Is it because it's clocked? No. What is going on? It didn't record again. Oh, because freeze was on. I'm an idiot. It recorded. Nice, you got a synth? Do tell. That annoying resonant woo in there. That's kind of obnoxious. Yeah, MIDI logos are delicious. They are analog and lovely. Okay, so we'll tame that when the time comes. We need some bass of some sort. Imagine a home synthesizer-based studio. You see these pictures of guys with these giant setups of 15 different synths all laying around, right? What if you had a modular with a big-ass matrix mixer, and your modular was all effects? Think about it. Because it'd be cool, you know. Just saying. Okay, what do we need? We need Well, for one thing, I want to do something kind of interesting and see if it works. All right, so the first thing I want to do is get a couple of analog oscillators going, which means I need to tune these guys. And that's why I've had the tuner app going on my Mordax data. Okay, you cool. You not. Now you cool. Okay. I may need to go back to that. We'll see. All right, but in the meantime, what I want to do is basically wire up both of my melodicers to play occasional whole notes without any looping or anything like that on. But with really slow envelopes. So each of them just like, some of them are, some of them aren't. I mean, like you could get a pod, a little tiny case, and get a couple of FX aids. They're these little guys down here in my corner. Okay, I've got 3 of them. They're really small. They're only about $150 a piece, and you can dump tons and tons of different algorithms on them. Their controls are a little bit, rudimentary, but you can get, like, bigger, better versions of FX Aid that is, like, they have an actual screen and adjustments and sort of things. Like, MFX is a good multi-effects module. It's, like, tiny, 6 HP. But, yeah, they can be, just like anything else. Like, they can be, $300-400 a piece at least. I mean, you could almost classify the R-bar as an effect, and that's, like, 600. Okay, so what do we need? I need some slow rise and fall envelopes, first of all. So we're going to put this on a good old B0, I think. Yeah, just a nice basic rise and fall, but nice and long, 5 seconds. Let's start at that. And then, so rest is going to be, mostly turned up on these things. So they're not going to generate that much sound. But, so here's what we do, I think. Let's throw these guys into das Popel filter. Yes. Das Popel. And then we'll go envelope out there. And then this is going to be an envelope out here. Like that. Channel B. Find the same shape. Approximately the same time. Wire up that channel into it. Okay. And suddenly, we're in Blade Runner. That guy gets a sloth, of course. Okay, we're not done yet. Not by a long shot. I need bass. Bass. Bass, we could do a drone. We could do a bunch of stuff. We could do sort of a triggered. I don't know if this is going to work well or not, but I guess we'll find out pretty soon. So this is going to be kind of a triggered bass event. Let's call it that. So what I want to do is have kind of like a, every once in a while, it just goes boo, and then it just dies away, you know? Just that, every once in a while. Maybe we throw a drone underneath it. I don't know. Let's do a chainsaw for this. I'm not going to do any fancy schmancy dividing up things or adding saw sub oscillators or anything like that. We're just gonna throw it out there and you know what? I'm going to go through the sea legs for this guy. So if we hit go, yeah, so that envelope is way too short. Now glide. There we go. Turn up the gain all the way. Try with sustain too. Okay, what if we go down an octave also? The last tweak. That's nice. That's real nice. That's real nice, Clark. How about a nice D drone just hanging out underneath? I think that would be a useful thing. Let's do that with this guy. Because honestly, it's pretty much already set up for it. Will the cables reach though? No, they won't. Son of a... Okay, cool, but I think I want to add a couple more little bits and bobs here and there. And then we'll just let it rip and sit back, and I'll read Reddit while everything plays and then get depressed. So that'll be cool. Tracy, what's going on? Okay, also something I wanted to do, which was to take a sloth here and put it into both of my melodicers for the rest, which is CV in number 1 on that guy. And then let me get an extension cable right here. And we'll go to CV in number 1 on this guy. And I want to double check and make sure it's set to that. I think it is. No, that's high note, and it's CV in number 2. Okay, what is number 2? Number 2 is set to rest. Good. How about this guy? Number 2, also set to rest. Okay. So as that voltage fluctuates up and down, you'll get even less notes coming in on these kind of like these that you hear, these sort of like Blade Runner-esque background textures. Yeah, man, the zoom stuff. I remember when the zooms first came out. I was in college. My guitar player bought one. It was like a Walkman, you know. Went on your belt pouch, had a bunch of effects in it. We were all marveling at it at the time, and that was in like 1992 or something, you know. I am thinking to put this guy on infinite loop repeat kind of thing. Could use the gamut repetitor for this. That would be okay. And then run this guy through a quantizer. D, F, G, A. Just keep it super simple. And who gets that? Who get what? What? Like, I know I had two long cables. Who gets that? How about a minor chord in the ensemble oscillator? That might be nifty. That might be very cool. How to process it? Well, this has a built-in VCA, so that's actually pretty easy. You can do it that way. I just want like some sort of like occasional little ting kind of thing. I think that'd be nifty. Let's put it through the emitter and make it into a cloud of delay. Delicious. Taste the delay cloud. All right, what you got? What you got for me? Nothing. There's our minor chord. Starting point. What I want to do is just occasionally, what we can do is just drive this from a completely different source. It'll still be clocked, so it'll still occur when a pitch change hits, but I think it would be a very easy thing to just take a rare gate pattern from the pulses expander over here and you know, plop it into a little envelope. You know, a little VCA action here. Where's the drive? There's the drive. Boom. Should work now. Should just be like ting every once in a while. Yes. Do it. Do it. Now you won't do it. Just gonna like not. It's because the clock is too slow. Hey, nothing happened. Why nothing happened? Oh, because I turned the mixer. moths that filter also. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's throw it all together and see what happens. And we might as well turn on the video effects, especially since it's so much easier to do so. Photosensitive viewer warning. What? It's not Stream Boo? I'm fucking astonished. Oh my god. Oh my god. if your best inspiration comes literally from the gear itself? Then the purchasing of said gear becomes a necessary part of your music making experience. hobbies cost money. Straight up. I don't care what it is. Always going to cost money. So you pick your expensive hobbies, you know. You don't become a boat guy and a modular guy unless you're rich. or a hot rod guy. That's a money black hole right there, man. Say that there's a lot of variation in this. A surprising amount. And I'm pretty happy with that. That random little bit of hung drum that slipped into that loop cracks me up. Blum, 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 blum. Hey, thanks, Robert. Yeah, I mean, I do it for myself, and I'll tell you, lately it's been harder to come here, but I never regret it. That's the thing. It's like I just have to kick myself in the ass sometimes. But as soon as like I start plugging shit in and come up with a seed of an idea, then it's just a lot of fun. So And I don't know. I really like these ambient goo balls, arrhythmic wads of sound. Yeah, they make me grin. So, anyways, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you when I see you. Friday, if not sooner, probably not sooner. This is another busy week coming up. Anyways, have a good night, y'all.